Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And please welcome our host for this week, Terry Adwin.
Hi.
Maven.
Hey, y'all.
And Sanswinda.
Hello.
And also, please welcome our special guest, Camarillo.
Greetings, everyone.
Hello, and I guess we'll begin with the proper pronunciation of your name.
It's close enough. I tend to roll with Camarillo, but I have not actually gone into the etymology to discover what it would be. Bad me. It's horrible.
Shame on you.
So is there a meaning to the name then?
Hand of Brilliant Fire. Camarillo being a roleplay character who's existed since right around 2001 as a smith, essentially likes creating things. Fire, of course, being the element of creation, forging metal and things of that nature. So that's the origin of it. Essentially, the difference between what Anatar and some of the more negative connotations of fire that Sauron runs with is that I more envision him cradling the flame and working with the flame in his hands rather than mastering it or any kind of a domination kind of a thing.
All right, that works. Then let's head into the LOTRO Beacon for this week. And we'll begin with our weekly comment, and that is, okay, I know what Sanswinda's answer is going to be to this one. What is the scariest thing in Middle-earth?
Sheila. Followed by her spawn.
We haven't even seen her yet.
That doesn't make her less scary. I saw it through her eyes, and I saw some of the things she's done.
It may make her more scary, actually.
Yeah, in fact, yeah. Alfred Hitchcock, yes, will make that more.
That's right.
And that's why one of the things that says right below, the first thing in Fansite News is LOTRO Players News finds a spider for Sans.
That's right.
No, thank you. You can keep it for yourself. Name it dead and squish
tiny
it.
spider cosmetic pets, just so I can put one on Terry and run around.
Just make sure you name it dead meat or squished or something.
I'm going to take a wild guess you set yourself immune to all the emotes with all the jars of bugs running around right now.
Definitely.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I set myself immune to all the forced emotes anyway.
All right. Terry, what do you say is the scariest thing in Middle-earth?
The scariest thing for me in Middle-earth is purple mobs.
Purple mobs.
Purple mobs. Yep. Those are the ones that I see and I go, nope, and I run the other way.
Purple mobs with green flames around their heads are kind of scary too.
Yes.
Especially when they're giant-sized and they kind of just stomp you when they look at you.
And even worse if they happen to be spiders?
Much worse when they happen to be spiders, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Maven.
I don't know. I think the Nazgul with all their various names and cosmetics.
Right. Camarillo?
As someone who's played a tank for their entire career on LOTRO, I would have to say massive crits. I can take the little nickels and dimes to the face, no problem. If I'm looking at my morale bar and all of a sudden it goes from 3/4 down to 1/3 or 1/3 less, I'm kind of going, what just happened? did I miss a condition on me or something? Help, healer, where are you? And I start getting real nervous real fast.
In that case, I will have to say that the scariest thing to me is a Tier 3 Frigid Squall.
Ouch.
That does not sound pleasant.
No,
I can make you a campfire.
Is that the problem is when it explodes and wipes out the party.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
especially if heat straw happens to be one of the people nearby.
Ooh.
Ouch.
How's that damage distributed from frigid squalls? Is it just an equal amount to everybody, or is it?
I
distributed
believe.
damage?
I think it had. I think it's just full damage to everybody in the vicinity, and it has a large vicinity.
Yeah, they do have a large vicinity.
I have been out of range on a couple of occasions, fortunately, but since frigid squalls randomly change where they're going, you could be from nowhere near it to right next to it in pretty much an instant.
True.
Well, no, because they induct before they do that thing.
Well, true, they do induct it, so if you
you
see
have time
them
to move away or interrupt them.
yeah, if you're paying really close attention, yes, you.
I pay really close attention.
Yes. Yes. Terry plays very close to the usually, but for me, I seem to always be missing it when it decides to induct, and I usually know it's inducting about the time it explodes. So.
Well, I tend to be taking it to the face, so I pay real close attention to conditions as they get set, and
Yeah.
the chat line. I mean, my rotations for tanking are almost instinctual at this point, so I'm more watching the facing of the mob, my condition line, and the whatever the raid chat or the group chat, because somebody's going to notice something and say, "Hey, hold on, he's about to do this, he's about to do that." Holding aggro has never been a problem for me. So, yeah, that's why I don't like the large crits, because those just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, the trouble with the frigid squall is he doesn't hold aggro because he randomly attacks.
I hate it already.
Yeah. And anything else that's in here? We do have, of course, our screenshot of the week. Wandering Arda grabs a screenshot of the remade old outfit.
Which is
I
awesome.
like that.
Whee!
The golden Malorn leaves provide a beautiful backdrop. At least I'm guessing that's Lothlorien.
Where else could it be? I mean, it's a bit early for It's a bit early for Party Tree Mark II to be that large.
True. Very true.
Especially since it hasn't been planted yet. Anything else someone wants to add that they noticed in the Chronicle this week? Then I will just note that Fibro Jedi has updated his Harvest Math Festival guide. So if you want to know everything there is about the festival, you could head over there. Because it's Harvest Math time, yes.
Yes. Yay, festival.
It's coming very handy.
Then let's head into our store sales and see what you can get. Anything nice and juicy?
Not really.
Oh.
LOTRO Bonus Days is on this weekend, though, which is the VIP event boost, so you get 100% XP for all of the things.
Yes,
Also
I know.
coming very handy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know so far this week I've been playing mainly my characters that either A, I don't want to level up all that quickly, or B, the ones that are at level cap, so therefore... Yeah.
Yeah. Free sample this week is a +5 Hope boost with coupon code LOTROHOPE now through October 26th. And 20% off some stuff that I never spend LOTRO points on, which is Virtues and Virtue Bundles, Trait Slots, Skill and Slayer Deed Boosts. Blah. Blah, I say.
Blah. Right. So let's head into our site news, and we'll begin with instances. And this week, Squirrel is talking about Agamar. Which is, of course, in the Lone Lands.
Mm-hmm. And these are non-scaly instances.
Yeah, it's rather strange because they have been revamped once, but I think they were revamped just before scaling became the norm. Because originally it was one big dungeon, then they split it into three.
The revamp broke them up into 3 separate ones.
And then later on they started scaling things, but they never scaled Agamar, which is I always thought was a rather strange one never to have been scaled.
It is a little strange because there's not really a ton of mechanics to this one. That I recall, really.
Right.
It's pretty straightforward as far as instances go. It's actually more straightforward than the Great Barrow stuff if you do it on level.
Yeah, but for some reason...
I don't know if I've ever done these.
When I was leveling up Sarissa, the group that we were in did these on level. And this was the first instance in which I got in a lot of trouble because I was going after the treasure while everybody else was killing things.
Whoops.
Well, yeah, burglar, that's what you do.
All right. What we have to do, Sans, is in our Lone Lands group, we'll have to make sure that we remember to
go through?
Yeah, to go out, right, because we will be about the right level to go through there.
Sweet.
Because we were probably going to hit level 30 sometime when we're late in the Lone Lands, and then we could go into Agamar and see how well we can do in them.
Sounds good.
And we also have a poem by the Antipodean writer, which is about Elrond set sail for Eldamar. Parting was hard and bittersweet, then sailing crossed the foam far overseas into the west, where Elrond sailed alone. His salty tears with ocean mixed en route to Eldamar. So Elrond, where are your children 3? Tell on, say where they are. Elrohir and Elladan, twin sons, both marched to fight the war. To Aragorn both boys are sworn, for king they're fighting for. Against Sauron, marching to fight and slay, restoring kingdoms and their crowns, in Middle-earth they'll stay. Arwen, his only daughter too, she now is Gondor's queen. She'd wooed and won by Aragorn, but think what might have been. What's elf, she is mortal now. What dead, when dead is Aragorn? Whence can she go? What can she do?
Damn it. Oh,
when
sorry.
death makes her forlorn? To greet
Sorry.
To greet at last Celebrian, embracing, sharing joys, and shedding tears for daughter lost, and also their dear boys. Arwen was wed to Aragorn, their twins two stayed behind. Elrond and Celebrian take what comfort they can find. In Middle-earth, mankind remain. Soon all elves would have gone into the west beyond the seas, into the setting sun. Karen Amroth makes Arwen's grave. Both twins in Gondor died. Elrond lives on Elven home, Celebrian by his side. Yet all this happened so long ago, such dooms must we abide. But after all the world is changed, what after will betide?
I just have one problem. I don't recall Elrohir and Elladan dying.
Well, as far as I know, the Elrohir and Elladan are the last of the Eldar to leave Rivendell. They're the last to leave Rivendell,
Right.
and go to the west.
Right.
I thought Celeborn was the last.
Whatever.
No,
I mean,
he's not. I don't think he's of the Eldar descent. I thought, right?
Oh, Sindarin, yeah.
well, Celeborn is Sindarin, yes, it's true. But by the same token, Elladan and Elrohir aren't You know,
They aren't
Well,
either.
they're not pure blood, yeah.
I mean, well,
Well,
but
they're
that's
not
the
Noldor. I mean, they never were in Valinor, nor
Right.
were their nor
Well,
were
that's
their
the
parents.
Well, it depends on how you draw the line, I guess, depending on.
they're not Calaquindi. How's that?
Right. Yeah, okay. I will give you that.
All right. So either way, I mean, good poem, love it. I just there's a reach there with them not. Of course, Elrond wouldn't know when he's on the boat that his sons would eventually follow. So
True.
maybe from that perspective, we'll let it slide
Why wouldn't he know that?
because he
He's
can't
on
see
the
the future.
boat?
No, but I mean, they're
He's
elves.
on the boat and
they'll come. I mean, they're elves, so they're going to come eventually, right?
maybe, assuming that they aren't slain. Of course, if they're
What if
slain,
they
then their
kind of
spirits
go
go to
anyway?
Mandos.
They're definitely going to go there. That's right.
Yeah, right, it's true. Then their spirits go
Just
to
not by
Mandos.
boat.
Right, it's true.
Just not by boat. Is that kind of like the red circle thing, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, the red circle's pretty far off for elves.
Mandos is the red circle for elves.
It's going to be a hell of a haul to get back to the zone you were questing in.
Boy, no kidding, huh?
What do you mean there's no boats to take me back? God bless it.
I mean, Glorfindel made it, but it took a long time.
Well, he had help. I mean, good Lord, could you imagine if he tried to swim that? I mean, we called Everswim a problem.
Boy, no kidding, huh?
1,000 years later, he washes up on shore. Okay,
Yeah,
give me a minute.
Could be how
Give me
it
a minute.
happened, you know? Give me a minute.
Right. Does anyone have a new player question this week?
I guess that's a no.
Then
I don't
let us head
think
into our review of the next section of Mordor, and that is that real fun place, Klingris.
Yeah.
Nobody but Pineleaf pronounces that way. Pineleaf and
Yeah,
Sodium
I'm not going to bother.
voiceovers.
It's too much work.
Someday we should ask Corey what his opinion is of the proper pronunciation.
If he ever gets to Mordor.
If he ever gets
Well, he's
to
definitely
Mordor.
going to get to Mordor as a chicken. Yeah. Yeah, he's planning to throw himself into Mount Doom.
Oh, boy.
He's
that's
calling it the
amazing.
fried chicken run. I said, no, you should call it the hot wings run.
The Hot Wings Run.
Yeah, I think that should be the title, you know. when
That
somebody
should,
throws
Hot
himself
Wing.
into- yeah, hot
That
Now,
would be
no
awesome.
spoiler here on this one, though, but can you actually go up the hill and, look down in the lava where the ring is tossed?
I think it's been tested. Oh, I mean, as a chicken, you're talking about?
No,
Or you're talking
just
about
just
anybody?
in general. I haven't gotten that far into Mordor yet.
I think we can. I haven't gone back since the instance, but I'm assuming we can.
I don't actually know, because I haven't been
I
there
haven't
on land.
tried.
I must admit that I've never made the attempt either.
I know you can go pretty far up the mountain, thow.
Oh yeah,
It
it is
sounds
true.
like a
You
goal.
you get up to where it looks like you were when in the instance.
Right.
I just haven't like ascertained that.
Yeah, we turned around because it was a 115 area and we were only like level 111.
Whoops.
Yeah, and I've been up there, but yeah, I'm usually busy fighting guys.
Which should make being a chicken really fun, right?
Yeah, boy, no kidding, huh? I mean, he's going to have some serious.
Level
touch
1
the
chicken
words.
versus level
Chick-
115,
He's gonna have
whatever.
he's going to have some serious chicken tenders.
Or that tender
I feel like
chicken.
we've deflected from Lingris, probably because somebody doesn't want to talk about spiders.
Hey, who could that be?
I wasn't the
I
one who
don't-
deflected.
All right, let's then begin with the landscape in our fun little place.
Lingris, I'm very spidery. I think is honestly the best way you can describe it.
Well,
Got
Cobweb.
some really gross.
I was talking about the I was talking about the landscape rather than the mobs, but I guess with the webs, yes.
Right. I
guess.
mean, the
Webby.
webs are everywhere. The cocoons, and it just screams place that doesn't see a lot of light. And of course, that's
And
always
you have that
Shalob's
nasty
thing.
swamp area that you basically have
Right.
to swim through.
Yeah.
It's true, though most of it's mountainous. And there's some chasms that have been there before the mountain erupted because they've got nice bridges over them.
And Kirathungal.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course you can't forget the
Yeah, how is that
tower
described?
you were talking-
A rock slide that accidentally managed to shape itself into a tower?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's how one of the orcs describes it.
Well, but he said that for after.
That was after, yeah. And he said
that's
it-
because it was so dirt. That's because of the mess that was in
every-
there.
Right, with all the mountain shaking and stuff. But that's how we see it as well,
Right.
because we're getting there after the mountains erupted and everything started to fall down that hadn't fallen down before.
Yeah, wonderful.
Well, we do see it briefly before then in a
That
session
is
play.
true. And it looked much better in the session play. I'll give it credit.
Can't imagine why.
Yes, before a hobbit came in and broke the front door.
Wait, you mean an
No,
elf warrior, right?
An elf
Yeah.
warrior.
Oh, that's
Elf
right,
warrior.
our elf warrior. That's the smallest elf warrior I've ever seen, but yeah,
But yes.
elf warrior.
Well, he had an elf blade.
Well, I guess you got a point with that. Sam certainly had a point with Sting in his hand. Yeah, so therefore, yes, very webby tower with a swamp on the side.
and lots of really, really big spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like, there's
that's
some-
how you describe.
Tall trees that are completely cobwebbed.
Yeah, right.
Like,
All I know is that I'm going in
Plus, don't forget the spider eggs sacks
At-
hanging all over the place.
darn near, I think I was like 113, 114, maybe I was 115. I don't think I had quite geared like with the crafted stuff yet, but I was still rolling in with the stuff that you got from the new blessing of the Aria, the Valar. You know, it's good, fairly good gear. And I'm getting 12,000 crits, most I've ever seen in my life. You know, it's great, fine, and wonderful. I walk in there, and I had been pretty well just caking Udun, and then whatever the next zone is, I can't remember what it is.
Dormarth.
Right, Doromarth. But then the book quest sent me up to Kirathungal. So I said, okay, let's just wander up to Kirathungal. And suddenly I'm in this, ravine-like, shaped zone with spiders just thick. You could not avoid them.
No.
And I'm literally fighting my way one mob at a time, going, don't aggro that one. Don't no, that one's big. Kill the little ones, all right. You know. It's a zone I'm going to very much respect.
Yeah,
And
you said you're 113 or 114?
well, at the time, I'm 115 now.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could go through and be a little more resilient, especially now that I've gotten the new crafty gear with the where all the pieces have the plus 10 Light of Arundel, and it's but even still,
Yeah, because it's a 112 zone, so that 111 to 112 zone, so that shows you how nasty it is that a 113 character would be scared going through a zone 2 levels below him.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. No, it's even at 115, I'm going to respect it, and it just sets the right mood.
Oh, yes. Now, it looks like we've walked into mobs there, which is the next section on the matter, which, yes, spiders everywhere.
And spitters. Don't forget the spitters.
And spitters. Oh, those spitters! Ugh.
You're walking along, paying attention to the spiders, avoiding them, and suddenly you're dying and you don't know why. Yeah. Blame a spitter somewhere
Spitter.
behind you.
It's a lot of fun to do with no red dots turned on because I have no idea what's going to aggro and what's not. So I'm just running along and I aggro half the swamp.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're
Or
a
half a
silly monkey.
mountainside, or, yeah.
It's like, oh, look, there's a bunch of stuff chasing me. Well, we'll stop and kill it when I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the spitters are those nasty grid big spitters, and
Yeah,
they'll just
the
stand there and
spitters
spit at
really
you from
suck.
a really big distance.
Yes. Now, apparently, all of those spiders that you have all throughout Hringris probably explains why there's no stable master there.
Probably. Besides which, why would you want to visit? Ew.
Certainly no horse wants to. I know we take our mounts there all the time, but
Yes, but we also send them somewhere safe
considering
when we
what's
get off.
happening to the orcs at one point, I don't really want that happening to the horses. So
you got a point there. Yes, because those right because you
The
go
sole
into
redeeming
what
quality of spiders. They also eat orcs.
yeah, that is their one.
They do
redeeming
more than
value.
just eat orcs. Ugh.
ugh.
Yeah. So let's go into quests, and we'll begin with the Black Book.
Wait, we're not through mobs yet.
Oh, you
There's
got
those
more mobs?
crawlers that explode when you get close to them, too. And there's carrion flies.
Oh, you
And the Zavarhai have really big radiuses for
Vance was
aggroing.
making
yeah.
careful note of all of the nasty things that she didn't
And
want to
there's
see.
regular Gredbig.
Yes, we have the
There's
in
some
the
bats.
case that we have a large number of arthropods in that place.
Chitin everywhere.
Yes, arthropods and orcs. And orcs also seems to be what you find in that place.
Yes, and there's bats that are called ungle prey.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
attack
yeah.
you, which is really nice.
Yes, this thing, but just about everything else in the zone attacks it, though.
Pretty much. Poor
Yeah,
thing.
a spider goes near it, boom! The spider. I went saw today. We're going through there, and a small group of spiders. At first, I thought they saw us and were getting ready to attack us. No, is they ran straight toward one of those bats, caught it, and started and chomped it away. Then they attacked us.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to attack us until that bat was eaten.
Alright, I'm satisfied now.
Now you're satisfied. Now that you listed all the nasty arthropods that you can meet, we can head into the Black Book of Mordor. And chapter 3.1, because now we go into chapter 3 of this, and in chapter 3.1, all it says is to do chapters 3.2 and 3.3 in whatever order you want. So Hlingris is chapter 3.2. And in there, you go in with our old friend from way back in Archit. Actually, way back in pre-Burn Archit even, because
Yep.
we speak to him during the Hobbit/Man prologue at the Spiderbane.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he doesn't even recognize you.
Yeah,
It's like,
that is
well, if you
rude.
were a spider, I would remember you. Seriously, priorities, dude.
That was great.
Because when I'm playing a Hobbit, he should at least recognize the Hobbits and the men. Okay, he might not recognize the elves, especially if they didn't do any of his quests, but the Hobbits and men would have absolutely had to have spoken to him in the prologue. Well, I guess. if
Well,
they
unless you
skipped it or
skipped the
something like that.
prologue, which is possible, or you Ariad, which is also possible.
Okay.
Yeah, but they still assume that you've done the books, even if you haven't done that particular book quest. So,
Yeah. I don't know. My Hobbit was a little bit miffed to be placed lower than a spider, and might have fish slapped him a few times.
Right. Yes. So the thing is that you go and you meet Uatli, who apparently failed to recognize you, and he asks you to talk to him in Flingris, of course. You meet him there, and the first thing he tells you to do is to kill spiders.
Go
obviously.
fig.
Considering the guy's name is Spiderbane, that's not a surprise.
Yeah, I know. It's not a surprise.
No, though I kind of wish he would be fighting a spider every time I saw him. Just proving that he's actually a spider bane.
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure every time I've seen him, he's sent me to go kill the spiders. I'm not sure he's the spider bane.
well, you do have a point with that. And yes, we'll see about that. After you kill those spiders, you go and talk to him at Kirithungu. And there he asks you to check the at the approach to Kirith Ungol to see whether or not all the orcs there are dead, because apparently when a spider looks like it's dead, he trusts that it's dead. But when an orc looks like it's dead, you can't trust the orc.
Well, he's a spider specialist. He's probably not fought many orcs.
Though he's right. One of the orcs isn't dead.
But he's close enough to dead, and he gives his dying speech.
Which is a pretty good dying speech, considering that he just kills over right afterwards.
Yeah, that is true. So he talks about all that happened, all the stuff, who's now in control of the tower and all that fun stuff, and that nobody knows what happened to Shelob. And I think that's the first time in game. Is it? Well, I don't know if it's the first time that someone mentions Shelob in. I think the name might come up in the side quest, but I think it's the first time that name comes up in the Black Book, at least. Then we talk to Atli, and he sends us back into Kirith Ungol. Ooh, what fun stuff on there! And we are asked to go inside there to. Pretty much. Well, we go in there. This is how it works best if you do the side quests with it when you go into there, because you go in there disguised as an orc, and there's no explanation for it if all you do is the Black Book, because that comes in all the side quests.
The Black Book is asking us to go in and figure out why the orcs and spiders are no longer getting along, right?
Sort of. He sends us in. Well,
and then we come back with the letter, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is beyond me. I don't do politics stuff."
Right, because we get sent to up into the tower where we find this message, and there's this message for Ugrakor. And so we had to talk about all this politics stuff, and that there are whispers and all sorts of, and about the Gürzel plot and all that fun stuff. So this is sort of like, so there really isn't all that much, but you consider that this is just a small part of Chapter 3. This is just Chapter 3.2. So therefore, the Black Book doesn't really touch this zone all that much. So therefore, we finish that up, and that finishes the little part that we do there. That means then you have to go and do 3.3 if you hadn't done that already, but we'll discuss that when we go into the next zone. But now we need to head into our side quests, which are quite extensive. And Legolas leads you through that. I know you're really happy to do that, right? Helping Legolas? What?
Yeah, leads being an interesting word. If by leads you mean stands in the middle of a bunch of cobwebs and says, "Go kill stuff."
Well, useless elf is useless.
I mean, he does kind of save you once, but that's further in.
Yeah, it's further in, yes. But in the beginning, you're right, and unfortunately there are no safe places, really,
for him to stand. So, I mean, I can't blame him too much, but
there's no safe places for us to stand.
That's true.
Well,
nothing seems to be bothering him. It's just like standing there and there's a spider next to him when you first meet him, and he's like, "Hey, will you do this?" And you're like, "Dude, I'm fighting a spider."
Be with you in a minute. Kind of busy. That's the one thing I have to say. For all that I love so far, everything I've seen in Mordor is very Mordorish. You can go find a rock, hang out, and chill, and don't have to worry about any mobs coming in and killing you. There's no real feeling of impending doom, for a land called Mordor, But you go into Lingras, and suddenly you respect it. You respect it a lot.
Yes. Not a place to build your summer vacation home.
No, but a definite reminder why I have a house on the Shire and like to go back to it.
I know. I was at my house in the Shire right before today's show, and that was partly to drop off the books that I've been collecting in Mordor. And I actually listen to the Klingris one today. So hear it all the way through.
Yeah.
I need to get mine because I'm really, really interested in hearing the whole book.
And
Because
then you
it's
hear all these little
the
bits and
Shelob
pieces.
story.
Yes, the Shelob story. And in there, it looks like just about all the quests are, you have a couple of landscape quests that pop up here and there, but the given quests tend to be all in one long thread in this zone. Going from, let's look at these bodies. What's causing the bodies to die? Oh, let's chase this orc. Oh, let's look at this. Oh,
Let's wear that orc's armor.
Yeah, let's wear that orc's armor. Oh, let's go to the Tower of Kirith Uncle disguised as an orc.
Because that would work out so well.
Totally.
Yes.
That actually seems like a really brilliant plan until you discover that the guy that you've supposedly been fooling this whole time is the one who is the reason why said orc is called the Silent One.
Yes. Yes.
And then it's like, oh, oops, my bad.
So you really just wanted someone to do your chores that badly, huh?
That's one of the free peoples to do our work for us.
Why not?
Why not? Boy, he is not stupid at all.
I know, because we totally think we're getting one over on this orc, and it's like, yeah, nope, not really.
Right, especially as there's like 4 of us silent ones with different sizes standing there talking to him, and one happens to have a pet with him, and we've got a little gourd lurker running around, and
Totally not suspicious.
we're like, he's totally buying this. This is crazy. And he's like, yeah, I knew it all along, Hobbit. Thanks. Well, then he sent my high elf out looking for the elf, and then he's like, oh, high elf. And I'm like, really? He didn't think I was at least as dangerous as the elf I'm supposed to be looking for. The elf. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, you see, you were going off. He was thinking he was sending you off to hunt yourself.
Exactly. I hope I get to meet him again.
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be good. Maybe he'll be in the Shelob lair, in the Shelob raid when it comes.
Or
Maybe I don't
he'll
want to
have
meet him
joined-
again.
Maybe he'll have joined Gothmog in Minas Morgul.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Good grief.
I'd rather go there.
Because we got to see that dude again at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have some words that I need to.
Yeah, for some
I
reason
have
I
a
thought
fish
he
slap or
was.
two.
I thought he was taken care of in the
No, he ran
Pelennor
away.
stuff, but I guess because I never finished out the instances for that.
Yeah, you mean you thought it was part of the throne raid or something, or is that whatever that? I never ran the Pelennor raid, so
Yeah, no, he's definitely not taken care of on the Pelennor raid.
okay. Very well then. Well, you don't have any. You don't have any stable masters. You do fortunately have a couple of milestones there. One of them right at Kirith Uncle. Well, not right at Kirith Uncle, but close enough that you could use that, because I think that's the only useful one. So there is also that cave with the 115 stuff, which is at the very beginning.
Well,
of
that's
it.
a campfire. That's a hunter's campsite.
Yeah, you have a hunter's campsite there. Is there a summoning horn there also?
I don't think so.
I don't
Oh,
think so.
that-
I think it's just a campfire.
Oh, in other words, you just make sure that you know a hunter if you want to get there quickly.
A hunter.
Well, there's
who has
another
that
way. There's
campfire.
another way into that cave from the top too, so it's a little shorter to go. That
Yeah,
if you're really going to go in there.
I know. We accidentally today when we were going in there, I didn't. realized that you had taken us to a second entrance in order to go and get the next page.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
Sans led us all the way
Whoopsie.
through on the inside area.
Well, I found the right
Whoopsie.
path. There was just a lot
Yeah,
of
we
killing
did.
to do.
Yeah, she found the right path all right, and a lot better than I did, I have to admit. And yes, there was quite stuff there. I know the last time I took a character in there, I was just scared of that place, but boy, yeah, I had a reason to be scared to it, but we survived it. So,
It wasn't bad.
There
We
were
just
one or
had
two
to-
dodgy spots.
Those
yeah.
the orcs that are in there are tough to kill, but they're not like you can do it.
Well, my problem is I had 2 shadow on me as we were in there.
Oh,
Yeah, we had to go get more light gear after
Yeah.
getting out of there.
Right, because we were all 115, but we were still geared like 112s. Or actually more like 111s.
Yeah. We're better geared now after having done it and gotten some quest rewards.
Yeah, a few quest rewards, and someone found when we were looking for pages, we found a rare chest, meaning Sans found a rare chest, I think.
yeah, that's convenient.
Oh yeah, it was over by those 3 pages, 3 of the pages that were still missing.
Yeah, and I was positive that when we went to grab that rare chest, a rare elite spider was going to pop out and attack us. And I was surprised it was just sitting there.
He didn't attack you?
Nothing
No,
attacked us. There was nothing
elite
there.
spider.
Huh.
There were a bunch of 115 spiders that we had to go through.
Yeah, but there was nothing guarding the rare chest. I guess I assumed that all rare chests were going to be heavily guarded. But of course, we did have to fight through a lot of 115 spiders to get there. Yeah.
But we got 2 pages and the rare chest, so that was a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Actually, we got 3 in the 115 area.
Oh. Wait. No, the
Yeah.
other one was up the road a little bit, wasn't it?
Well, okay, it was up the road a little bit. Yeah, you're right. It was up the road a little bit, so not quite in that section.
Close, but not quite.
It was close to the 115 zone, but not quite in there. So that pretty much covers. Any other things you want to say about the quests in the area? Now, there is a deed to slay spiders in Tlangris, of course. And if you quest in there and do all the quests, you're pretty good odds that you're going to finish the advanced deed.
I haven't, though.
You didn't?
I have not.
Oh.
Interesting.
You clearly have not killed enough spiders.
Obviously.
Yeah, because I
Our group
managed
just
to...
did.
Yeah, because the group that we did on Thursday also... Because I know I finished all the spiders I needed in...
Yep, I have not. I'm a
Well,
few spiders short.
I
If you
bet we'll
start-
get them on our way to get those pages.
Probably.
Especially
Yeah.
since the pages
That's
are
why I
guarded by
wasn't too
them.
worried about it, because I knew we'd be getting it. We'd be going back in for the pages.
And you'll go back in when you do dailies too.
Oh, now you remind us about dailies.
Sorry.
I still don't have a character that's even
Provided we
unlocked
do
dailies,
dailies.
so... Maybe someday. So anyone else have anything they wish to add for the various quests in the area?
No, I wish I could say I'd actually quested in Lingris. I just went up to Kirathungol and said, oh crap, okay, I'm there. Got done with Kirathungol and then ran back going, oh crap, and finally left. So yeah, no, I'll eventually get back to Lingris for questing.
Yeah. When they were talking about Shelob in, I think it was Made of Lions, who was talking about or one of the other devs was talking about how Shelob was an enemy that they could not waste on a single instance. They couldn't just throw her into a raid and say, here's Shelob. And they have been building her up piece by piece with her doing these little things, not showing her yet, not actually facing her yet, but having these things that because first you have looking in her eyes in the instance with Gollum. Then you have this one where you have a couple of cases where you're in the vicinity of Shelob and you see and all you see is this strip of web coming out and pulling something in and grabbing it. So you can see Shelob is there. Okay, time to run.
Yeah, I actually kind of love the fact that we haven't seen her yet.
Right. And so they're building her up for this big reveal at some point.
I wonder if we ever will actually see her.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the entire
think so?
point is to build up to a certain point where I don't know what is going to be. I mean, I've always been joking about the Shelob raid, of course.
There's always been talk about the Shelob raid. We
Right.
don't know that that's what it's going to be, but
Yeah, because
We've
there are
been
two
hoping.
possibilities. The two biggest possibilities for a raid right now are Shelob and Gothmog.
And Gothmog, yeah.
Yep.
Maybe they'll be together. Well, and we also have all the folks that are part of the Black Book.
Yeah, we have them, but
Barongos and Lyrith and
They
all
could
the- all
almost
the
be
bad
like
guys you meet.
6-man raids, though.
yeah, I don't think those are going to be
Or
raids.
6-man, like, just regular
Well, I mean,
fellowship
if you think
instances.
about the fact that with the raid, you've got like 5 or 6 bosses that you fight. I mean, it could be all of those.
Well, yeah, but
Especially since Lyrith says that she wants to get Gothmog herself, so
well, there is that. What we have to do, then what's going to happen there is, I suspect we're going to have another round of Black Book, though, and see how that story develops. And we'll see, because that story could develop.
is
in
that
a direction they
spoilery
could
for
turn.
those of us that haven't done it?
and that could be.
Oh,
where the
that's
raid
right. I
is.
should not have.
That
yeah,
could be where the
probably
raid ends up being.
Yeah, I shouldn't be talking about the. Yeah, that's right. You shouldn't be talking about book 4 right now, and neither should I. Yeah, chapter 4 and what happens in there and stuff like that. So forget all I just said. But yes, all right. So Shelob is going to. I think we are going to see Shelob in all her at some point in the future. But we'll see. Oh, how about we take a poll here, see how many people think so. And Sans, do you think we're going to be seeing? Okay, do you think the players will have an opportunity to see Shelob in the future?
The option. We'll have the option.
I vote yes, there will probably be the option.
I'm skeptical. And I say that because in all the things they've done, all of the NPCs that we've killed and story people, none of them have been named in the novels. They've all been Turbine or Standing Stone or the devs' creations. Things that they have total control over the licensing for. So for them to kill Shelob, to let players kill Shelob, they would have to negotiate with the Tolkien estate.
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
that's true.
Well, either way, they would have to make sure it wouldn't upset the apple
Right.
cart.
But then you're saying that we can't kill Gothmog either?
We haven't yet. have we?
Gothmog's not. Isn't Gothmog a Lotro invention?
No. He is Gothmog in the form used here because Gothmog is an orc in Peter Jackson's movie. Gothmog isn't described at all. He's just mentioned as the next in line in leadership, I think, in The Return of the King. So, yeah. So only a cameo mentioned there, but
Right.
the name is mentioned.
Here's the thing. Here's why I think it would be wise not to throw out Shelob in a raid to be killed.
Shelob doesn't necessarily get killed. I mean,
Not to throw out Shelob in the bathwater. Oh, sorry.
Shelob has
Definitely
a
throw away
talent
Shelob.
for
Sorry.
surviving and escaping. So therefore, just because you defeat her in a raid doesn't mean she's killed.
That's true.
That is
That's
true.
It would depend on how they designed it. True. So yeah.
They do have a tendency to have mobs that you think you're about to kill.
She might
just
limp back
suddenly
into her
turn
cage the way she
green.
did. That's right. She may limp back into her cage the way she did, or her cave the way she did when Sam fought her.
Right. And that way.
I suppose a raid could end with all of us dying too.
Well, that happens daily, I think.
Like a
raids,
legit end, not just like a oops end.
Okay.
It's possible. Maybe not likely, but possible.
Well, there might be a raid that ends in
Or knocking us all out.
here.
Knock us all out, and then suddenly we're outside the instance.
Well, I didn't necessarily say that, but it's that you have no choice but to run, where the next objective to complete the raid is to run and
That
escape.
is possible, yeah.
There are plenty of quest
Yeah, because you have to be
instances
able
that
to
do that.
get to
Run away.
somewhere in order to get the rewards.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
Did you just say we're going to have to survive the raid in order to get the?
So,
No, they have to have.
I think that's axiomatic.
They have to have somewhere for you to get to. I mean, they can't just kick you out of the instance and not reward you with something. They have to
That's
have.
true.
I mean, you've got to have some place to pick up your rewards.
well, in
So,
theory,
you
the
know,
rewards
could
could
you
drop
have to
just
run?
before you get kicked out.
Eh,
Everybody
it's weird,
suddenly
though,
has their
because-
bags jingle.
Because it's usually like a chest or something that you have to physically loot. So it would be
That's
weird
true.
to do something different.
Here's my prediction. If they do a Shelob raid, you will fight her, and if you win, she will spew some inky darkness, because after all, she devours light, and so she's going to have some mystic power to basically just make the screen go black. And when it fades back to light and you can see again, she's gone, and then there's your quest chest sitting off on the side somewhere.
Ooh, very nice.
Ooh.
Standing Stone's hire this guy.
Yeah, okay. So therefore, all right. So far we have. Okay, so far we have one. We will have the option one skeptical, and that she'll probably escape if we do fight her. Terry,
Right.
what's your guess?
I'm all for a Shelob raid. I would totally probably not do it, but because that's basically my stance on doing raids. But no, I think it'd be awesome. That the opportunity is definitely there for her to face, for players to face her in some form. And I think everybody's kind of expecting some kind of Shelob something.
Yeah. All right. Kate. Maven.
He had to remember my name. Hey, what's your name?
Wait, there's one more.
I do think we're going to have one. Now, for me, because having done Dread Terror, oh my god, it's like, are we done yet? Are we done yet? There's another boss? Oh my god, there's another boss? I mean, it just kept going. So I
It
would
could be
assume
like a
it would be-
succession of even bigger spiders.
Well,
No!
I was thinking it would be I was thinking it would be similar, and probably the bosses would be the bosses that we've met, going through Mordor. But I would like her to be the final boss. I think that would be awesome.
Or they can set it up like the Watcher, and you just kill off her legs one at a time.
Ew.
Ow!
Ew, they could, but ew.
And she's so big that you never see all of her at once.
That is possible. She could be
Okay.
that big.
The Dragyak of spiders.
Right?
Final is
really.
always relative anyway. I mean, final until new content.
True.
That's true.
Well, then I suspect that there will be some form of interaction with Shelob at some point in the future. What form that? Well, I've been saying Shelob raid for I don't know how many years, so let's see if it can happen.
It's pretty dramatic. I mean, what we do see of her, which is more like Hitchcockian, like you said, it's more
Yeah.
like her presence
Her presence, yes.
which
Her
is really
unique
pretty
presence.
cool. Yeah.
And anything else someone wants to add to Lingress before we leave this review? Oh, what about our scores? Sans, what kind of score will you give Zone?
Well, because I don't believe in grading something based on my
Distaste.
prejudice against
She
the
doesn't believe in
particular
spiders.
idea, I guess they probably get an A. It was horribly nasty. I was on my toes the whole time, and yeah, I think they did a good job with it. I don't want to go back, but
Camarille.
You know, because I didn't actually quest in the zone when I was traveling through, it's very hard for me to give a full, review and rating. But from what I have seen, and just from the visuals and the oh crap factor, I'm very pleased. Keeping in mind I wasn't able to, say, hey, were the quests, thematic or flavorful or otherwise make sense to the story overall. I'll give it a solid C plus or a B anyway, and hopefully the rest of the points will be made up when I actually finish the questing in there. I'm confident.
Maven?
I'm so easy. I mean, I think I give it an A, and again, my main reasoning, I think, is that I think they did, the story was interesting. I mean,
it was.
98% of it was, fabrication. It was creation on Standing Stone's part, and I think the way they did it was really interesting, and how they tied the region to the rest of Mordor in terms of, what the risk was of if they didn't contain the spiders and all this kind of stuff.
Then,
the other, like the silent one, I mean, all that stuff, and having us dress up as orcs and Kurthagel. I mean, I just thought it was really, really creative. So I think an A.
Yeah. In fact, I guess I must say, I completely forgot about what is probably your favorite quest in the entire zone.
Oh, the session play.
Yes, the session
That
play.
was awesome.
That was awesome.
When I first did it, I told Sans, I said, it is going to be worth it for you to come to Lingress just for this.
She was ready.
No spoilers. I haven't done this one yet.
Okay.
It's definitely hooked to the to Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And it's really well done. I really enjoyed it.
Probably the best session play they've done yet.
I think it's hard to pick, these ones.
And I know, see, some of those Mordor related ones, it's very hard to say.
I think they really polished their sessions play skills.
Well, considering what the first one was.
I was going to say.
Oh my God. Setting the bar low.
Yeah, that's right.
To this day, it makes me groan every time I have to do that one.
Yeah, I think that people still rate the first session play you ever have to do as being the worst session play they ever had in the game.
Well, I remember I was really confused because, it was my very first session play. I had no idea what a session play was. And the other thing that confused me is like, wait, I'm an Angmarin? What? I'm like, I don't understand this. It was like, and then of course the rest of the slugs and all that stuff was like, oh God. Anyway, so yes, they've come a long way from those days.
Actually, I think that's why they added chicken play, was so that there's a chance that you could encounter a better session play before you got to that one.
Just randomly talk to the right chicken in the Shire, yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe the wrong chicken.
A better introduction to session plays.
Yes.
What about you, Pine Leaf?
Oh, I was going to go to Harry
Oh, I
next.
forgot. I forgot. We didn't talk to
I haven't
Terry.
given my grade yet.
right.
I'm gonna go with an A- just because of how short how small the area is compared to like the other two that we've done. But aside from that, I actually really enjoyed my time in Lingris. I have to go back and get pages.
Yeah. And as for my mark, I personally think I think Lingris is one of those zones that doesn't need to be long. I think it is designed to be terrifying and icky and uncomfortable, and boy, does it succeed.
Yes.
Yep.
It succeeds very well. It succeeds very well what it is. I think it's the length it needs to be, in my opinion. I'm going to give it an A.
Cool.
So let's head into our week in Lotro. And Sans, what have you been up to?
Ooh, this was a fun week. Well, it was a mostly fun week. I ran the new 3-person instance with Maven. At 105 and 115, we had help from Fairvinin and Linlin.
First Fairvinin and then Linlin.
First Fairvinin and then Linlin. Fairvinin is a minstrel, and she came in and helped us with the 105 and started with the 115. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish it with her because she had to go have dinner. But Linlin came in with his, and we kept dying. And Linlin came in with his captain and helped us finish that. But yeah, the 105, we were on 115s, and we ran it at 105, and it was fun. And we just ran through and demolished everything.
Yeah, I've soloed it at 105 now about 4 or 5 times.
And so we're like, oh, what would it hurt? Like, let's just put it at 115 and see what happens. Surely we can do it, even if it's a little harder. And
you want to talk about? I gotta say, Cam's the thing that Cam fears most in Lotro is in this 115.
Definitely
in spades.
Especially if you're not careful.
Oh my goodness!
I think Vervinen was with us for like 6 or 7 wipes.
Oh dear.
And then,
oh gosh, yeah.
Then Linlin joined us. And at one point, like, we had a 30-minute shopping session while I went looking for new gear to get rid of I started with, like, Shadow 5 or something?
Yeah,
in the instance, even though I had
a fair
good
amount
gear.
Of Shadow. But the debuff was pretty significant.
Yeah.
So
So we went shopping for new gear. Yeah, everything is.
I got my
up
resistance up in the meantime. Yeah.
And we tried again, and we wiped again, and we tried again. And we got a little bit better.
Sans would be like, I have an idea. After every wipe, she'd be like, I have an idea. And it was good because actually we tried each idea, and then, finally she had an idea that worked. It was, and one of the ideas I think I had was, how about if I don't use my hunter and bring in my minstrel instead?
And that helped too, for sure.
In blue line, yes.
And
those are good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Like, we ended up having the captain run around in one room being chased by one of the twins, while I ran around shooting the other one being healed by Maven. And then as soon as we killed that one, we went in and killed the other one.
Went over and helped him. This is sort of what I'm told by some is a very common pattern in many instances in Lotro, which is the first boss. Either the first or second boss is the hardest of the whole thing, and this is the first boss in this is it's 2 twins. She talks like Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Boris, Kilbus and Squirrel. And they get buffs like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We were first telling Terry about it. We were doing
30 seconds.
Yeah. We were first telling Terry about it. We're like, oh, well, they have this buff, but it goes away at 30 seconds. And Terry's like, well, yeah, but usually what happens is it usually increases after 30 seconds. We were in there, we're like, yep. It increases after 30 seconds.
Precisely what happened. But yeah, we finally got him down, and after that, the rest of the instance went well, but that took a good 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
But
tokens, scrolls, and food well spent, though.
Yes, I need to go cook more food. But yeah, it was fun, and my brain was working, and
yay!
Yeah,
Anyway,
it was just
that
fun to
good.
test our skills. I had fun testing my skills anyway. And finished on the field trip, finished gathering the Rangers to go help Aragorn. And am almost ready to head to Aragian. Though I keep trying to jump ahead and be like, okay, now to Inadvite? Oh, okay. Let's go get another Ranger. Now? No. Okay, let's go get another Ranger. And was just reminded that we have to go all the way through Aragian before we get there. So, yeah, there's still a lot left, but that was fun. We were in the level 60s that we haven't run in a while, and,
Are you guys going to try and get the thorough title?
I don't think so. Maybe.
We'll have to decide what we do on that.
I'm so impatient. Like, let's just go. I want to be in Dunland.
It sounds like that. Yeah, she wants to.
But I could probably be persuaded to get a thorough title if somebody knows where they're going. And
that won't be this group.
Probably not unless somebody steps in to help. But yeah, it was fun. And then we got to do a couple instances, discovered we couldn't get our fourth person in, but it worked out. And spent some time in my least favorite wing of the Haunted Burrow this week, and in Lingris. I've got to tell you, there were a couple times in Lingris where my high elf kind of tilted to the side, and I was just sure she was going to fall down, covered in cobwebs, like she would in the spider wing, because of the way that the spider came out, and then that little tilt that she did when she was getting ready to attack. But yeah, I've gotten quite a few festival tokens, and Lingris was less bad the second time through this week, and now I'm done with it forever! Kind of. I mean, until dailies and weeklies and raids and my new Ariad alt get there, and, you know. But, it's kind of done. So, Maven, how was your week?
Well, we already talked about the fellowship that we did. That was awesome, doing the 3-person instance. My Cappy and Dresden, the Lore Master, now have both reached 95, so my plan is to dual box Gondor with them. I'm kind of looking forward to it, and I'm sure you'll be hearing about it, you know, because I'm sure it'll end up being a highlight, because just, you know, first of all, my Cappy has been in mothballs forever, so just getting him out and, you know, getting all captained up again, and then doing the dual box is going to be really interesting. But it'll be kind of fun, because they can buff each other. So whichever one is active, the inactive one can buff the other one when they go into fights. It'll be awesome. And then, speaking of mothballs, I also got my blonde-haired, blue-eyed Hobbit Warden out of mothballs, and she's just arrived in Rohan. Both of these guys, actually all three of these guys, I took to the festival, and they leveled up, especially over the last day or so, pretty quickly. And they got to certain levels, and I'm like, well, do I want to really level them past this? You know, what part of the story is this? I was like, oh, 95. Oh, that's Eowyn. Oh, let's do that. I'm not going to level them anymore. And then with Maisie Day, the Warden, she got to 74, and she got the Rohan 73. She got the Rohan Waits letter, and I'm like, oh, well, let's go do that. So they're not going to the festival anymore as far as doing any leveling up. But anyway, she just arrived, and she's helping out the Thaneuf Langhold. So far, so good. But boy, is it easy to get rusty with her. Geez, I had to spend most of my morning this morning just going over all the gambits and all the stuff, because it's like, that is not a class that's, you know, like with a hunter or maybe a minstrel, you know, you could not play them for a while. With a warden, it's tough.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
You get really rusty. Yeah. So anyway,
I used
but it'll be fun. I'm having a good time with it.
I used a blessing to get my warden to 95 just because I wanted to put them into Rohan.
Yeah.
And, you know, sure, Rohan's gray now, but I'm like, hold on, I was last 50 and now I'm 95. I've got a lot of learning to do. I'm glad everybody's
I know, it's true. It's true. And I got Terry to remind me about Exaltation of Battle, so I tried that out today and had such a good time with it. Spreading green light everywhere I went. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Okay, Cam, how about you?
Well, so I got Tuvaroon up to 115 a while back, and was kind of kicking around and realizing that I like Captain, hate pets. Hate pets a lot. It's the reason why I stopped playing Captain a lot. So I said, all right, let me go back to Cameron, who's at 105, and see if I can get him to 115 and see if Guardian is still where my love is. So he's 112 and a half now, and because I didn't get the Arya gear, it was kind of a struggle getting in Udon and messing around. I was really understanding why people said Mordor was kind of rough once when you're first starting to get into it. So I said, let's go do a Harvest Mask quest, because all of those quests are white, and all you got to do is do some, social questing kind of stuff and get loads of XP. It's great. But I haven't done the Haunted Burrow before. I was actually I thought it was very well done.
Oh boy!
As a haunted house, it was just like phenomenal. I loved it. I did the quest 4 days in a row just to get the other quest finished, and I didn't even mind doing it. I usually hate doing dailies and grinds and things like that. It just annoys me, but I knocked through it and loved it. Went on an Ash run for the first time, big raid. Guy in Ellen Tiri invited me along, and I was, of course, 111 with very little Arundel gear. Mostly stood around as moral support and tried not to aggro things. Died several times. I couldn't figure. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Hey, we're killing things. All right, where are we? Yeah, we're killing things. Walked out of it having died 6 times, still got 10 gold out of it. I was like, what the heck is going on here? I'll have to do it again. Oh my God, since the last time I was with you guys as a guest, I've been talking with my longtime kin, Ellen Tiri. I've been a member with them since year 1, really, when I came on. And when Gondor and Cape of Belfast housing area came out, we had been talking about getting ourselves an island. And it's just a dream of ours. And, of course, I came back to the game after being away for a year, and I was a lifer. So I had thousands of turbine points. And I said to them, okay, I'm going to convert it to Mithril. When an island opens up, and trust me, we looked, I'll get one for us. And as dumb luck would have it, our kin leader logged in. I happened to be on the same day, and I said, look, make me kin leader. I'll go buy the thing as soon as we see it. As soon as one opens up, we don't know when one's going to happen, but just while we're both on, let's do it. And that same day, I went over and looked at the housing, and sure enough, there was an island free. So within an hour of that, we had bought an island, populated it with a whole bunch of, awesome cosmetics, because, everybody had cosmetic stuff, housing gear, just banked waiting for this. And so now we've got a wonderful new roleplay spot, and I'm really looking forward to it. I was really kind of stoked that I was able to give back to the kin that I've been a part of now for 8 years, 9 almost.
Okay.
So
now, are you going to remain the kin leader, since a lifer as a kin leader on an island thing is optimal since there is no upkeep?
And we talked about that, and right now I think that's it. What I've done is I've made our kin leader the seneschal, effectively. If my count ever gets vaporized, they automatically inherit.
Right.
They're still the second in command officer, however. Right. But I think we're going to leave me with being the kin leader, because I am a lifer and will never have to pay upkeep on the thing. Good Lord, I've been a member of the kin for 8 years. If I haven't caused drama by now, I'm gonna. So.
You've just lulled them into.
That's right. They might be listening. But no, so it's. I'm really kind of excited about that, and I actually had been toying with the idea of my own kin, and when I made Tuvaroon, who's essentially just a captain of Camaril. I mean, the same character conceptually. I created a kin called Melanath Vandar, which is essentially, the friends of the Oaths. And the concept behind the kin is simply those elves who have remained behind because of their oaths. Regardless of how old they are, they have not gone west because they have sworn an oath to do or because of something. And the same line as, Fëanor swore an oath that he would, defeat Morgoth and get revenge, and of course that was a bad thing, and, he died a horrible death, and his sons swore oaths to claim all the Somerals, and of course that went very poorly for them as well. But Tolkien has always been, Middle-earth has always been very heavy on oaths and the weight of oaths. I mean, you look at the Oathbreakers, and of course the army that Aragorn summoned forth. So one of the things I'm looking forward to is because Camaril is such a very old elf, thematically, and then there's a number of people I've role played with who also are doing that. We get to then collectively tell the tales of our oaths and how they came about and how they have affected, your existence for several thousand years. I mean, there's a lot of depth to be had there. So, it's still a work in progress. Eventually may start recruiting, but if getting deep into ancient elf lore and oath keeping and oath breaking and things of that nature is something to think about, look me up.
All right, and what server is this going to be on?
This is on Landreval. That's my home server. I don't really have the time to branch out, but don't have a kin hall yet. Got to wait for that level 7, but that'll happen eventually.
Eventually, yes. You have an oath to eventually get a kin house.
That's right. Dang it, it's one of those pesky things. That's right, I'm an elf. I have plenty of time.
I'm holding out for elf housing for the Bolshoi Theater. like real elven housing, not the stuff in Eredluin. Real elven housing.
Yeah, Killingdom is nice. It is elven, but
because I have an all elven kinship too, but it's all high elves. Because Dance 3. Woohoo!
Shake my head at you. No, I would love to see a housing option either in Imladris or Lorien. I mean, I think that'd be great, but
I wouldn't rule out Mirkwood. I'd buy a house in Mirkwood.
Yeah, I don't know. It's open. It's not.
Ew.
I mean, now
I'm
I
never
could see
visiting
that
our kin
becoming a
house.
thing later if they were to say open up Thranduil's Hall. I could see them spinning off elf housing out there.
But that'd be underground elf housing, wouldn't it?
It might be, which would be kind of weird.
It could be kind of cool, though.
All right, Terry, what have you been doing?
Well, finished out Ligmarus on Landreval Terry, except for the book. Still missing 3 pages of the book. Have to go back. We'll be fighting my way back through spiderwebs so I can collect the book, because I want the book! For me, that's kind of the best part of Mordor, is the books. And I also... We were talking about mole rats last week, so I acquired a pair of mole rats, and I sent one to each of my burglars on Landreval. So each of my burglars has a mole rat, and promptly named them Rufus, because they have to name your mole rat Rufus. And then I realized I hadn't been on Sarissa in a while, so she went through some of the Harvest Math stuff. Actually, she turned in a bunch of tokens and things that she already had from previous festivals, and she's acquiring the War Steed cosmetics for last year's steeds since they're half price. That's my tip for if you think the prices are too expensive, wait till next year. You can get it at half price. So, Pineleaf, what have you been up to this week?
I'll begin with the field trip on Arkenstone, where our level 60-ish group went out and finished Volume 3, Book 1. Sans did talk about this a little bit earlier. And, of course, this included doing the rescue at Nurse-Gashu, a skirmish on this. It's always a little bit jittery whenever I do that one in a group because you have to do all those fellowship maneuvers and keep Golidir alive. So we had a jittery start at the very beginning because we did have someone get killed during... Oh, actually, at the very beginning, I didn't realize that one of the people in the group didn't know about the fellowship maneuvers. So we had the first fellowship maneuver, and they're saying, what are we supposed to do? Okay, now explaining the fellowship maneuvers and paying more attention to it, we were able to get the rest of them without any trouble. But I think we had one person get killed at one point during that run. But when we got to the...
We lost Zurak Tanky Pants
okay.
to Whirling Blades of Death from the Priest of Vengeance.
Oh, that's right, the Priest of Vengeance.
Oh!
Yeah, he killed himself on a reflect.
That's easy to do.
But I was a
Hate when
minstrel.
that happens.
I had 2 reses. He was good. He was back in no time.
Yeah. So we had that working out. Then we went into the boss fight. And I mentioned this side as I wound up doing the stuff to get the fellowship maneuvers on Golidir, and I just did it with a shield bash. Apparently my shield bashes are not doing much damage because Golidir, his damage bar did not tick during the boss fight.
Well, that's good.
And I think that's the first time I ever saw that, because usually I see this thing getting dangerously low or something like that. So, no, its damage bar did not tick during the boss fight, and we managed to bring down the boss after only one time of Golidir being activated during the fight. So we had the initial one plus one time during the boss fight. We had to calm down Golidir, but we didn't have to do it any times after that. So therefore, that was a pretty good run on that. Probably one of my more clean runs of Rescue at Nurse-Gashu.
Are you saying we skirmished responsibly?
Oh, he doesn't want to go that far.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say, well, except for that bit about that Priest of Vengeance.
Well, yeah, that wasn't very responsible of us.
Yeah. Then my Crick Hollow Warden helped a goblin with some bad ideas. And I don't know, Maven, do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, I know there's a goblin with bad ideas. Where it's, I remember who he is.
Yeah.
It's in an area y'all haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to it yet, but
Fang is actually in the middle of dealing with him. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And then I finished Huntingris on 2 characters on Landravol, my Burglar and my Warden, and my Warden reached level cap in a very intriguing way.
Which is?
By turning in intriguing filth.
That's awesome.
This time
I feel
spelled
dirty.
correctly.
All right, let's then head into our donations. Yes, we currently have 23 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast your choice, or you'd be a guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. This week we have a featured comment from Flosin, and how about Maven? How about you read
Oh, I was so afraid. It's like I lost the roll. Dang it! All right.
I was honestly expecting to be volunteered, but hey,
Listen, Pineleaf RNG.
Fine Life RNG, yeah. Okay, Flosin, which actually I don't mind because Flosin, I love Flosin. It's been a long time since I've seen or heard from Flosin, so this is awesome. All right, a little addition to the new player question for the infused items you get from Moria. I originally posted this on my LOTRO.com way back in 2010. This can be a bit of work, but here's one way to gain a lot of runes and settings and gems that you can equip on your legendary item / weapon. In Dolven View, across from the Stable Master, is 2 dwarfs. Each dwarf has 3 quests. They come available when you're at level 54, 57, and 60. You'll need an infused ruby for level 54, an infused sapphire for level 7, or an infused adamant for level 60 for each of the quests. So here's what you'll need for just one run. Have 4 legendaries equipped that you're leveling. 4 tablets or rusted tools that you can trade in for 4 more legendaries, and 1 of the infused gems. Go into one of the quests and complete it. Once done, don't turn in the quest. Rather, go over to the Relic Master, deconstruct the first 4 legendary items. Now equip the 4 new legendaries. Phew! Visit the dwarf to turn in your quest you just completed. This should level all 4 of your legendaries to level 3 to 5. Visit the Relic Master again to deconstruct those 4, equip 4 more legendaries, and start the next quest, and repeat for all the repeatable quests. At level 60 plus, I'd have 2 of each of the infused gems, 6 total, and 28 tablets or rusted tools or legendaries. When I deconstructed, I'd end up with 3 to 6 settings, gems, or runes per legendary. In total, I could end up with 80 to 100 plus settings, gems, or runes. Woohoo! Combine them to get higher tiers and repeat the whole process the next day. On the rewards you can get, one of the rewards you can get is a relic that you can deconstruct even more settings, gems, and runes. Holy shamoles.
Now, I should note that...
wait a minute. He's not done. Sorry. Next page. This same basic concept will also work with locations that have daily quests and reward IXP. I hope this all makes sense and is helpful. Good luck and have fun. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finally.
All right. The levels given there, 54, 57, 60, they are the levels that the quests are run at, but you can actually do the quests earlier than those levels.
Oh.
Yes, because I do have a habit of doing some of them a level or 2 early, and there's some that I won't do early. I will not do, well, I rarely do Library of Steel anyway, but that one, I would definitely, if I do it.
Is that the one with the dead guys? The ghosts?
No, the one with the ghosts is the Ghost Forge.
Okay.
The Ghost Forge is 57. Library of Steel is a level 61. That's the one with the fire elementals that you have to kill.
Oh, yeah, that one's not fun either.
Yeah, no. I occasionally do the Ghost Forge, but not too often. The ones I tend to like are both of the ones of the 54 ones. I do like the Marival Scavengers. And I like the one with the spiders, so I'm sure Sans won't.
Sorry, finally. I'm glad you like it.
But yes, and there are similar quests of that ilk at other places. For example, at Galtrev, there's a group of them over there also that have a similar, except you don't need these infused things in order to do that one. I think it's Galtrev. If one of them, for example, requires you to actually fish out the relics.
Oh, yeah. Those are rep building.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you would like to contact us, you can send us an email at podcast@LotroPlayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAllied, LotroPlayers @LotroPlayers, Ariendes @Ariendes, Maven @Tolkien Maven, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Senswinda @Senswinda, and Terry Adwin @Terry Adwin. And where can we follow our guest?
I'm a bad Kemeril. Because the last time you guys invited me on, I said, I should make a Twitter account just for this.
You didn't do it, did you?
I didn't do it, did I? But you can locate me as either Kemeril, that's Camuril, or Tuvarun, which is the same entity thematically TUVORUN, on Landerval. If you want to send me a tell or otherwise hang out roleplay, I do like role-playing. I'm a very busy guy. I don't get to role-play as much as I like, but hey, I'm always up for it.
The
I
Players
give him a
Alliance.
hard time about this frequently. Sorry.
I own it.
The Players Alliance has 2 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. You can join us for our live shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Punny Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.